Right, so we have the dog nicely positioned on the header now. You may be thinking to yourself that these lines, the guides, are a little bit distracting and you want to see what your design looks like without them. Well, it is useful from time to time just to hide the guides, to take a look at your design, make sure it's all okay. And obviously we do that as we have in the past by going to View, Show and Guides. We'll just click them off for now. We can see the design without them on there, and the dog is sitting nicely over the line, over the bar that we had on there and everything. So yeah, it's just nice sometimes to just switch those off and take a good look at the design, make sure everything's okay, the guides haven't hidden some glaring error, like I don't know, some missing pixels or something. So we'll switch them back on, View, Show, Guides, I'll just click that back. Of course you could have used the control and semicolon, but we'll just do it like that for now. Fantastic. So what we want now is the dog and the shadow of the dog to be sat down here in a smaller version of that on the footer as we have on the final design here. And it's much smaller and facing the opposite direction. How are we going to do that? I hear you cry. Well, let me show you. Let me take you by the hand and lead you merrily down the transformation path. So we'll select the dog shadow and the dog together, and what we're going to do is, with the move tool selected, we're going to hold down Alt on the keyboard. I'll leave that down. If we just drag the dog now, miraculously you can see, letting go of the mouse button and Alt just to set that down, miraculously we have actually made a copy of both of these layers just simply by holding down Alt and dragging those layers with the move tool. And that's a fantastic little way of quickly copying two layers together, or even just one layer. If you had one selected, it would have done exactly the same. That's just a nice quick way of doing that and keeping the new copies selected, so we can now go on and edit these. What we'll do though, just to save any confusion later, firstly we'll rename these two layers. So if I just click one of them, dog shadow copy, I'm just going to call this dog shadow footer, because that's where it's going. And we'll do the same for the dog copy, we'll call that dog footer, just so that we can distinguish between these four layers later on. Now as you can see, these two are not linked. That doesn't remain intact once you copy these layers, so we'll do that now. We'll just select them both and hit the link layers icon, just so we have the chains up there now. So that's good. We have both layers selected, so we can edit this dog now as we want, with the move tool selected of course. We'll just move him down into position. So the next thing we want to do is to make him smaller and flip him horizontally. To do that we use our old friend the Edit Transform. So again we can either go to Edit Transform up here, or as I prefer, I'm going to hold down Control on the keyboard and press T, and that brings up our options. So holding down Shift again, what we're going to do is size him down proportionately. First thing I'll do is just look at the no, actually I can't look at the other design just while I have the edit option active. So I'll just size him down. That's probably a little bit too big, but I'm going to press enter anyway and just check the final design. So as we can see, his ears just pop up into the white, which is a little bit smaller than we have him there. So with both layers selected, I'm just going to hit Control and T again, holding down Shift, just size him down a little bit more. There we go. That's nice. Nudging him around with the cursor keys to get him in position, just to make sure he's sat above that. And the next thing we're going to do is flip him, and we can do that again by holding down Control and T to give us all these options. And what we can do is, if we right click anywhere within the edit function, we just right click in there, we'll get the list of options that we had when we went to edit and transform. one of the options is to flip horizontally. Now if I click on there, rather miraculously, he has flipped horizontally, so he's now facing the other way, which I think balances the design a little bit nicely if he's looking up at your content. And we'll just nudge him using the cursor keys on the keyboard, just nudge him into a nice position over there. There we go. We now have our dog on the footer as well. Just move on to the next video. We'll grab the text, the project Minisite text, and pop that down there as well.